Well, it was a great second-round match. Kansas played really, really well, and so a lot of credit to them. And they made us dig really deep, and our fans dig really deep. The crowd was electric tonight. It was a lot of fun to be in the Devaney tonight and see some great volleyball and great competition by both teams. I mean, both teams played their hearts out tonight. So that was fans got their money's worth, and both teams need to be complimented on how hard they played tonight.
Questions for the student athletes?
Nicklin, how did it feel to be out there again after sitting out for a week?
Yeah, it felt great. The energy was really good. And it's our last game, so in Devaney, and I guess for me ever. So it's pretty special to be back out there with my team, and I thought it was a really fun match, and we had a lot of fun.
What's the last week been like for you? You having to watch from the sidelines into Minnesota and last night. What has that been like for you?
Frustrating, you know. This season's definitely been up and down, so it's hard to not be able to help your team, and so I'm just super grateful that the trainers got me back and I'm able to play again.
When did you know that you were going to be able to play today?
Yesterday or today? I don't know the specific time.
And just what was your reaction to finally getting cleared after it had been so frustrating to not be out there?
Super excited. It's really hard to sit on the sidelines and not be able to help, so I was really excited when I finally got the news that I could help and participate.
Bekka, what's your experience out there first postseason? What's it like for you on the court?
Honestly, I'm just really grateful. Like, I get to play with incredible women and like incredible volleyball players, and so I'm just trying to take it all in, but also to stay focused at what's at hand. Like, we have the potential to go all the way, but we're gonna have little moments along the way. But I'm so curious on like the kind of person I become out of this, because I think this is one of those times where I think it's really easy for someone in my position to shy away from it, or I could, grow. I could go to a whole new level and put myself in an even better position next season. So I'm just really excited.
And how important has Lindsay's performance down the stretch been, especially with all the uncertainty of the other men's spots?
Yeah, she's done a great job, and she made plays tonight when we needed her to, and that last swing, she was fearless and she was going for it, and that's what we ask of her. And I think she's a huge competitor and shines in those moments, and it's been nice to have someone who's pretty consistent throughout the games.
Bekka, what was that fourth set like, and just how good did it feel to end it in 4?
Man, ending it, it was like it just took me back to USA Volleyball, honestly. You love the sport, but it's survival of the fittest. We were just talking about that in the locker room. Every point is a grind. It will never, ever be handed to you. So it's a mixture of satisfaction and relief to know that the war is over. That mini battle is over. So, yeah, that fourth set was just, like Coach said, electric, and you could just feel how raw the hustle and the heart was in both women on both sides of the net.
How impressive was it to watch Caitlin out there, your counterpart? She seemed like she took over, I think, 4 blocks, 4 kills. How impressive was she on that fourth set?
Man, that got me hyped. It was so impressive because I remember she got a stuff block, I believe, and then she got an overpass kill where she absolutely annihilated the ball, and it was just, I'm like, that's Caitlin Horde, man. That's Caitlin Horde.
Speaking of Caitlin Horde, she had a couple of great sets. Nicklin, what did you think of, she was doing everything?
Yeah, I mean, she has great hands, and so anytime she sets it, I'm never worried. I feel like yesterday, too, Maggie had a couple sets, Bekka had a couple sets, and our middles do a great job when we're out of system and we need a swing, and they put the ball in the box where they can get a swing, and it's impressive. They could probably take my spot, so.
I don't know about that.
I think Bekka might want to.
Bekka, you had a couple of kills, I think either on overpasses or maybe second touches. When you're at the net, what do you see that allows you to take the ball early and force it over?
The biggest thing is space. So just knowing if I'm able to, I can think of the one where it was, I believe Lindsay had a cut shot and they had overturned it on coverage. And my biggest thing was, all I knew is that I was in the air and I was reacting to the ball. And usually my first instinct is to try and send it over, and if it's not there, that's when I usually play it. And I saw it and I just kind of go for it. It's more of just muscle memory, trying to practice that. Jalen talks a lot about if you're going to put it on the other side, you need to kill it, especially on overpass, because those are easy points right there if you don't. And so, yeah, it was more reactionary.
Nicklin, you guys showed true resiliency tonight, especially at the end of that fourth set. How do you think that resiliency is going to help you go forward throughout the rest of the tournament?
Yeah, every game is going to be a battle, and the stakes just go up every match. And it's not going to be perfect all the time. So having those moments where we really have to look at each other, we have to play with a lot of grit. It's not going to be perfect, but we really leaned on each other tonight, and we found a way to get it done. And I think that's going to be super important down the stretch in those big moments. Being able to look to each other, trust each other, and have a lot of resilience when it gets tough.
What did Kansas do in those last two sets that really shifted everything and made everything more competitive?
Yeah, we had a tough time stopping them, I feel like, in the last two sets. And yeah, their offense kind of picked it up a little bit, and we weren't doing as well on defense.
Yeah, it was junk. I think we realized we were really close to sealing the deal, and then I think we kind of sat back on our heels, and they took advantage of that with junk balls and exploited our miscommunication. So that was kudos to them on that.
Final question for the players.
Nicklin, Kansas has never beaten Nebraska. 89 matches. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like, I can't even begin to fathom how that streak is possible. Does that boggle your mind that
Didn't even know.
this school has never lost to Kansas?
Yeah, it does. I did not even know that stat. 89, wow.
89
That's-
straight matches, you said?
89 straight.
There was a tie.
Yeah.
1977.
Wow.
When did it start?
1975.
Holy moly!
Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
insane.
Just shows the tradition of this program and
Gotta make it
excellence.
happen. Don't want to break the streak.
Yeah.
Speaking of streaks, 11 straight years Nebraska's going to the regional round too. I mean, does it feel good to have that accomplished and kind of the year you've had, the ups and downs, to make it again to the next round of Sweet 16?
Yeah, we're super excited. Super excited to get back in the gym and start preparing for the next teams. This team has big goals, big dreams, and so we're gonna go for it here.
It looked like you wanted to say something about the Caitlin Hort questions.
Well, both Nicklin and Caitlin are exceptional setters, and they've done it all year long. They're great. Sometimes I think we just ought to bump it to them and let them set. But yeah, they made some great plays at the net tonight. I mean, those are elite level plays. I'm glad you noticed it. That's what I wanted to say. Is those are really hard plays. It happens really fast, and they do a great job with that.
Do you remember when you were told that Nicklin was cleared and ready to go, and when you said you were throwing
It was about I was told she was cleared about probably about noon today.
Why did you say you were throwing on it today?
Just gut feel, and Nicklin in her practices this week, she wasn't really in a full practice all week, but she was in the stuff she was allowed to do. She was setting really well, and I think the break really helped her. Ironically, I mean, she was sick last week. And then she got hit in the head, and I just think the break, she just looked really fresh. You could tell she didn't gas out tonight. She looked really fresh, and probably it might be the healthiest she's been all year.
Coach, how important are matches like this down the stretch here in the tournament going forward?
Well, they're really important because if you lose, season's over. So it's win in advance. I asked Whitney in the locker room. I said, Whitney, asked after tomorrow night, how many teams will be practicing Monday? 16. We go from 64 to 16 in a weekend, so it's a big deal, especially with college volleyball now, how competitive it is, and there's a lot of great teams.
You get a few more matches without Kinsey, and then you get Nicklin back. What was encouraging about who you have now going forward? Well,
again, we've only played this lineup now. Four matches, four matches. Well, we haven't even. This is the first time we played this lineup tonight. So I think this is the first time, unless we played it against Wisconsin. I can't remember, but it'd be nice to get in a lineup and stick with it. And this was a short week. Nicklin was out. We didn't have a lot of time to train, so. The more we can play in a lineup, the better we'll get.
How are you doing in the areas where Kinsey can be passing, serving, back row?
We miss her, you know. And that's game 3. We broke down back row, ball handling and passing. And that's where somebody like Kinsey can be a difference maker. And you know, Allie's got to learn how to grind for 3 hours back there, going all the way around. And you know, Maddie carries a big load. She's got to know that, you know, she's going to touch a lot of balls, and the better she can touch those things for us, the better we'll be. But tonight they did a pretty good job, except for game 3, and that's why we lost that game. But you saw the middles got 9 kills each, I think, and you know, and hit for a really good number. So we're tough when we can run middle.
How well was your defense playing the first set? I mean, Kansas had 2 kills, and the last kill came
I
in
know.
5-4.
Yeah, we were really good.
I mean, what were you doing well that allowed you to do that?
Just following the game plan, and they were dialed in. And then what happened was Kansas started tipping, so they weren't going to really hitting our block, or they were trying to tool our block, which they did a nice job. And then we got a little undisciplined. So it was, but you know, what they hit for the night, you know, 152. That's pretty good, and but they just changed up their game plan because they weren't killing balls, so they had to do something different. So it was a good adjustment by them. It took us too long to adjust to what they were doing.
Did you have a scouting report on Swanson at all?
No. Well, Jalen had a little bit, but we didn't prepare for her. So, I mean, 17 played great last night. She won the match for him. So that was a surprise sub there.
When Kansas is up and then Nicklin comes back in there at the end of the 4th set, I mean, how do you feel when Nicklin comes back and rotates back in?
When she went back to serve,
Yep.
yeah, I think we ran a point with her serving right there. I felt great because we were serving to zone 1, and she's got a great serve, and I think she got him in trouble. So, but you know, it didn't matter. It was who we had in there. We need some people to step up, and Bekka made some plays, Kate made plays, Lindsay got that big kill at the end, and Allie went back there under pressure and hit some tough serves. I mean, I think she had them out of system every time. So those are some things for these guys to build on.
More questions for Coach?
You seemed pretty in awe when Bekka was speaking. Impressed by what your freshman
For
was?
heck yeah, I'm impressed. And she understands and knows the game, and she's got great perception of everything that's going on. Yeah, she's pretty cool. I've dinner with her twice a week, and it's just like Bekka's world, and we're just living in it.